Hello, Luke here. I would just like to take a moment to disclose upfront that we sometimes talk about sensitive topics in our podcasts, and in fairness to our audience, we will try our best to put specific warnings in the descriptions of each episode.
And Chuck here with a friendly reminder that the views of this podcast don't reflect the views and opinions of our lovely sponsors.
Now on with the show.
His name's Turbo Man, my son is his greatest fan. Oh, he wants that doll, but they're sold out at the mall. Cheat, lie, break some laws, fist fighting a Santa Claus. While I risk my life, neighbor tries to fuck my wife. Everyone wants him. He's sold out for the year. Christmas is ruined if I don't get that toy. Was Iron Man by Black Sabbath, obviously.
Perfect choice.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
And welcome to Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. Once again, I am Chuck Starzenski, making a list, checking it twice. And on my nice list for once, I have Javier Martinez.
I love the holidays. I love being on this podcast.
And twice as nice, but no relation, we've got Juan Martinez today.
Glad to be back, guys. All I can say, just to quote our boy Arnie, cool party.
And today we watched Jingle All the Way. So for a log line, I've got an emotionally distant father tries to make up for his negligence with a cheap piece of plastic. And stay tuned for the end of the show where we will do our Sonic Death Monkey Top 5, brought to you by Goose and Fern English Pub here in Santa Rosa, California. And today's Sonic Death Monkey Top 5 is Top 5 movie leads that maybe don't deserve redemption. And it's about this time in the show where we'll give our honorary Sam Coughlin spoiler alert. If you haven't seen this movie that came out in 1996, I don't know what to say. And speaking of not knowing what to say, I'm going to throw it to you boys. What does this movie mean to you? What's your attachment to it, Juan? Why did you seek this one out?
Ah, yes. Well, you see, I actually grew up seeing it with my father a lot. He's a huge Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, as I feel like a lot of people's dads are. And so we'd watch it every Christmas. It was one of my favorites to watch just because it was insane. Yeah, it was just ridiculous because, my dad would tell me, this is based on a true story, right? I'm like, nah, I don't believe you. And, as I got older, I got curious about the Tickle Me Elmo craze. And I'm like, holy shit, this is real. And I watched it with a friend of mine, and she's just like, she's from Czech Republic. She's like, you Americans are insane. She's like, there is no way this is real. I'm like, this actually happened. And I'm telling her about the Tickle Me Elmo and all this. So she's like, this is ridiculous. You guys actually did this? I'm like, I did it. I was 3. What was the question again? No, but at the end of the day, the movie does mean a lot to me because it's just it does have a wonderful Christmas feeling. There's these really funny moments. There's these wholesome, very warm moments in it, and in all the insanity. They just kind of go with what Christmas kind of is about. At the end of the day, it's insane. Mm. There's never, if you ever go, I've been there before. My dad went looking for a Wii on Christmas Eve, the year they got released. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. Sorry, Daddy. I know you listen to this, but this is coming out now. We got laughed at Best Buy. Yeah. A lot of that movie hit hard. That movie hit home. This most recent screening, but a lot of it is just it's real. It just felt like real life, and I loved it. How about you, Javi?
Yeah. Well, real quick, I'm gonna just make a note just right off of something you said, but that was one of the things that that popped into my head as soon as I started watching this. In case you're listening to this, 20 years in the future, we are now post-COVID, post-Thanksgiving by a week or so. But I did go on quote Black Friday. This year. I didn't have anything in mind. I didn't need anything. It was more I was actually honestly just kind of bored in the morning, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the store and pick up a DVD or something, and was super surprised to see dude, there's just nobody here. Or, it's a couple people, but it's not pre-COVID. That's really, or, just before COVID, that's when we as an American society had hit the most awful stage of that Black Friday, holiday shopping nastiness. So that was one thing that I'm like, oh, I'm really glad we're not doing that anymore.
Thank you, Jeff Bezos.
But as far as like nostalgia for the movie, Juan, literally same fucking story. Dad, huge 80s fan. So anything that was, Schwarzenegger, Van Damme, Seagal, we're watching it. Especially if it's like a, quote, quote, kids or family movie, even more of a reason for my dad to be like, oh, well, of course I can share the experience with my son. Like, and I don't have to listen to my wife get mad over showing him First Blood or whatever, So this was definitely on the Christmas rotation. What about you, Chuck?
Yeah, I definitely saw this as a kid, and I've seen it quite a few times with my first roommate who loved it ironically, but my true nostalgic attachment is actually kind of secondhand. So when I was a kid, Conan O'Brien used to do this bit on late night in which, for a little backstory, Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California at the time. And he would do this bit on late night where he would interview Arnold, and I say interview in quotes because it's an audio podcast and you can't see me do air quotes, but it was really just a stock photo of Arnold Schwarzenegger with the mouth cut out and an actor placing their lips through and just doing like a really bad Arnie impression. And during this segment, and it was like a reoccurring bit, no matter what they were talking about, the actor would find a way to somehow bring it back to the fact that, like, well, this is very similar to when I was on set for my smash holiday hit Jingle All the Way. And so, like, and Conan would be like, no, dude, come on. Like, no, we need to talk about, like, politics. We need to, like, what are you doing for California's, like, drought and this and that? And he's like, oh, I am making a list. I am checking it twice. And, like, and that was always, like, how the bit would end. So, like, my true nostalgia for this is like when I think of Jingle All the Way, I just think of Conan O'Brien.
So godlike. Oh my god.
I'm gonna have to search up some of those clips. I like vaguely remember.
But yeah, what are some of your favorite scenes, Juan?
Ooh, okay. Let's see. I got my list here.
And also, it's the holidays. I'm in the giving spirit. I'm gonna let you take like some of those, low hanging fruit if there's like, because I feel like we've all got some very similar scenes here. Probably.
Okay, so I mean. Obviously, when our boy Arnie's in the Turbo Man suit towards the end of the movie, that's amazing. I mean, the special effects now, they're terrible.
Yeah, they don't hold up very well.
But in the back of the day, that was the coolest thing ever. When he kicks down the door at the radio studio, dude. Oh my God, I was cracking up. Like, this video has nothing to lose. Just breaks down the glass door. Mm-hmm. Is just like, to start screaming out like the names. And I love that, like, when he's running into it. Some dude's naming off the Jackson 5.
Jermaine Tino,
Jermaine Tino, like Marlon. He's like, bro. And one that when me and my friend were watching, during the parade scene, we're both like, wait, hold on, go back. Was that Sonic? Because Sonic shows up for like a split second in the parade in the parade scene, and we just pause like that. We're just like, holy shit, it's Sonic.
Which goes on for super long, and they get all the characters get like a 5-10 second like.
And I told him, I'm like, write that down now. I'm like, write that down, Sonic that down.
Yeah, I was so curious as to how they got the rights. Like, it had to have been like a studio thing of just like under their umbrella. It was everything you'd see at a parade. It wasn't like there was no like, oh, we're leaving out Disney characters or this or that or like anything like that. I was like, no, this is
full on parade. It was pretty sick.
Full on, Macy's Day Parade. And just really quick, getting back to the DJ booth scene. I love that Arnie has this moment where he's like, "You called the cops?" And then like the DJ's like, "Yeah,
I mean, who would?"
Yes, absolutely. Like, but it's just so like delivered like. Yeah, what the fuck do you think is happening? Yes, I called the cops. Yeah. Like, you literally tried to assault me.
Yeah, I'm totally justified in doing that. Like, I mean, I think you'll kind of know my opinion on the film when I say that, like, the scene that kind of sticks about the funniest thing this time around was my number one scene is Vern Troyer as one of the little elves just flying across the fucking room.
Oh yeah,
which is horrible, but it's just I cackled and
rest in peace, Vern Troyer.
R.I.P. Yeah. But I mean, and that just tied in with the whole Santa fight scene. Like, that was a good time. That was pretty funny.
Dude, Big Show was in that. I never realized.
Fucking Big Show. Yeah, immediately I was like, that's fucking Big Show.
Yeah, like, Big Show is. I know we're gonna get like a laundry list when we get to the Channing Tatum.
So
but
many.
Big Show was my number one. Like, holy shit, Big Show's in this. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, the all-out brawl in the illegal Santa Claus compound. That's to me, that is the movie. That's the best scene, hands down.
Yeah, probably. Just that one specific line of Ted, right, Phil Hartman, just turning just so disappointed to Arnie and telling him, "Can't bench press your way out of this one."
Oh, I love
that. So funny. But yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't have many more scenes, Juan. That was kind of about it, buddy.
I'll throw in some low-hanging fruit that no one got. The most memeable scene in the entire movie. The scene that the only reason my roommate probably owned the VHS. Arnie saying, "You picked the wrong day," and then punching a reindeer right in the face.
Oh my God. I was going to put that. But my friend Laurette, she's just like, don't do that. They're going to think you like, you know, you're like an advocate for like hurting animals. And I'm like, that's why I changed it to the Sonic one. So if you're listening to this, I want you to know Chuck himself chose that, okay?
You're also not an advocate for abusing animals. You're an advocate for just absolute insanity. That is like the peak, like... I wanted more of that, basically. That's the Jingle All the Way I wanted.
Because I'm looking at this, like, there was one that was that I meant to say. I meant instead of this, what was it? And you said that, and I'm like, oh my God. I apologize. Continue.
Oh, no, it's all good. And then aside from just every single little snippet of Phil Hartman, you know, rest in peace, Myron's anti-capitalism speech outside of the toy store. And I love that he's like, yeah, they make us buy stuff we don't need, and like doing this whole thing. And then it all leads up to, and I'm sending alimony payments to a woman that slept with everyone at the post office but me. Couple Sinbad moments I had to have, like, this is a kid's movie?
Yeah.
Yep.
Flew over my head even now. Only because you mentioned it.
Any other favorite scenes, guys?
Probably the bomb scene.
Yeah,
the bomb scene is great. I like when like the police guy's like, I've been on the bomb force for 10 years. That's definitely not how he sounds like. And you know, it explodes in his face, and the guy goes like, for how many years?
Yeah, exactly.
And then Sinbad's just like, that was a real bomb. This is a sick world out here. Sick people. Oh man.
I kind of had to like contextualize it and remember the 90s for a second. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. The whole postal scare.
The anthrax, right? Is that what it was, anthrax or something?
Well, no, like, I mean, there was like the Oklahoma City bombings and stuff like that where people were sending bombs through the mail. Yeah. But then there was also postal workers were the like most unhinged like members of society in pop culture for a little bit because of all the people going quote unquote postal and like, unfortunately, you know, terrorizing their postal offices.
Yeah. That and also just Jake Lloyd in general.
Yeah.
That poor kid.
Also, that poor kid acting circles around a grown man. He's like, why are you upset? And then just like, because father. Just like having this like heartfelt like speech come from his little 6-year-old mouth. I was just like, what?
This poor man, and then I remember I was telling Lorette, I'm named after her so fucking much right now, but I'm just like, you know, that's the kid from Star Wars Episode 1. She's like, it is? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just put on a blonde wig on him. She's like, holy shit, it is. I'm like, yeah, that's Jake Lloyd. That's our boy. I don't know is he still in jail? I don't know. Is he still in jail? I know last I heard of him he was.
No, he's not in jail.
Okay, thank God. No. Good for him.
I'm not up on my Anakin. I have no idea what
he was in jail for a while. Yeah, I don't know why. Probably like assaulted a fan. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I would, I want to make a let my boy like free Anakin joke, but I don't know what he did.
Yeah,
so maybe
you're right. No, I'll keep him in.
Maybe Skywalker deserves to be in the Slammer. I have no idea. And I don't want to, start chipping away the coal just yet. But You guys got any nitpicks, fixes, anything like that?
Oh boy, yeah, I do. I do. Boy. I don't know. Maybe I'm the minority here. Not literally, but we've all met Myron. And I don't know, in this movie, he was like the unfunny donkey to Arnie's Shrek to me.
Oh,
okay. Like he just like will not shut up. I mean, I like Sinbad. I've seen some of his stuff. I like him, but I just felt like in this movie, it was like, I was like, dude, can you like go away, please? Like,
yeah.
Like I get the character, but it was, I don't know, like I just didn't find it that funny. Yeah, he had like some great, like you mentioned the anti-capitalism. I don't know, it wasn't enough for me to like get over persistent like annoyingness of him personally, his character.
You're not wrong. There's a reason. Sinbad is doing so much work. Sinbad is, half of acting is reacting, and Sinbad is just throwing shit against a fucking brick wall.
Yeah. That's
so poor Sinbad is like, oh, I am the comedic relief in this family comedy. I have to really like, he's putting on his sweats.
Didn't have anybody to
exactly
bounce off banter with, like, I can see that.
He's jogging in the windbreaker. He's doing it,
Yeah, I mean, it did seem like that. You're right. It did seem like he was just throwing everything out. Like, come on, like something's gotta land. Something's gotta, you know.
I only can really think of one. I guess just because this movie just means a lot to me. The scene where they're in the diner, when we're going back to Sinbad, he's talking about the toy he wanted when he was a kid.
Yeah,
those cuts are awful.
Yeah.
Those cuts are just goddamn awful. He's like, oh, you know, I want my dad to give me this. And he got me that. I don't know if it was like intentional. I don't know if it was by mistake. It's just disgusting to look at. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I just hated how it just like, it was so obviously cut. Like you could clearly just had it just be one shot, you know? You didn't have to like cut it at every single line.
Well, not to be like total film bro and push the glasses up on a fucking kids movie, but I feel like his emotional arc there was almost like a pickup day.
Okay.
The diner scene was supposed to just be this kind of quick comedic thing, and then it was like we need something else there. So that it felt very much like, all right, we're going back to the diner. We're going to shoot this little like emotional arc for Sinbad because we want him to not just be this comedic villain the entire time.
Right. Okay.
Probably some of Chuck's favorite elements in this film, but to me, the fact that the movie turns into the fucking Looney Tunes in like the last 20 minutes of the movie. Maybe it was because it was like so late into the movie, or like maybe that the movie didn't just out the gate like we're gonna make, like you said, just fucking go wild and batshit with it. Just the fact that it just ended up feeling tacked on. I was like, why the fuck, you know? I was just waiting for the fucking Roadrunner to show or Wiley to show up or something, you know? Yeah, like the whole, you know, like you mentioned the bomb scene, but like, you know, when the bomb goes off and it's very like, you know,
yeah, it's 100%
very like 70s shtick, kind of like, oh, he's got, you know, gunpowder on his face. You know, like, I don't know.
All right, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I love him. But literally, like, if he doesn't have a gun in his hand, like, what is he doing? His delivery ruins this fucking movie. He's just like, he's not a comedic actor. He is a comedic set piece. Like, Kindergarten Cop works because he's still, like, this gruff cop.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be this, like, kind of more, like, working, stiff family man. And it just doesn't work. And then, like, I'm not trying to knock his accent or any of that kind of stuff, but, like, his delivery makes it so that, like, most of the jokes don't land. Like, there's a joke that is unintentional. Maybe it was because it was the 90s and maybe it was supposed to be a little bit more kind of, like, picking fun at the fact that he's Austrian and stuff like that. But Sinbad, I don't have the line written down, but Sinbad says something along the lines of, like, oh, yeah, like, you know, it's like no one understands guys like you. But it meant more like it was intended to be like no one understands guys like you who are like hardworking fathers and all that. And then Arnold's like, oh yeah, like kind of like was just like mumble mouths it even harder than he normally does, and it's just like, oh god, like it's like it's like, are we reading cue cards behind like Sinbad at certain points? Like, and then just I feel like I'm just going back and forth here, but like I love movies where, you know, you have a buff freak, for lack of a better term, in a family scenario, like fucking The Pacifier with Vin Diesel, great.
Yeah, sure.
Double Trouble and Twin Sitters with the Barbarian brothers, Peter and Paul, fucking stellar. Mr. Nanny, classic, with Mr. Hulk Hogan. But yeah, it just, Arnie without like something to do, just, I don't know, man, just doesn't do it for me. But that's and that's kind of like my big nitpick. Everything else is literally just like, Liz and Jamie probably shouldn't forgive Howard so easily. I mean, he's just like, kind of hasn't done anything or been there, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, whoa, you illegally snuck on a float? Right. So now it's like, your father of the year?
Yeah.
And then other than that, my other nitpick is just like, it just kind of ends. Like it
does just kind of end.
I was expecting like some kind of like final Christmas scene, you know, where it's like we're unwrapping gifts, and then it's like, oh, because he is a like absent father, and we've been bagging on Booster. We've been bagging on Booster the whole time. That it's like, oh, he got him Booster like months ago.
Yeah. Well, did you see that there is a scene after the credits?
Oh, it is. I
didn't see it.
Okay, so it's pretty simple, and it's the wife asks him, she's like, oh, like, what did you get me for Christmas? And he does a little, like, you know, like, I forgot, you know, and that's it. But
yeah,
what for the sequel, Jingle even further.
Yeah.
What a great. You know, there's actually a sequel.
Oh, I saw.
Yeah, with what's his face?
Larry the Cable Guy.
Larry the Cable Guy.
2014. I was like, whoa, that's way past the blue collar comedy tour.
Woo. Yeah. No, I'm good on that one.
It threw me for a loop when I found out what his real voice sounded like, and I'm just like, damn, bro, just lie to me more.
Oh, Larry's?
Oh yeah, it just sounds like normal.
What?
I know.
Oh my god.
His name's not even Larry. I didn't even.
Are you going to tell me next he doesn't actually fix the cable? Is that a cable guy?
Bro, I don't know. I'm about to cry. You guys can't. You guys probably hear it. You can't see my tears right now.
Again, one of your favorite, but like the fact that that their turbo suits are like fully functional to me, you know, kind of just again the Looney Tunes thing was like really? Like in the 90s, we're just going to be like, yeah, it's fucking jetpack. Like for a fucking parade? You made fully functional suits for a fucking parade? Like
it does lead to one of the best lines in the whole movie, I will say. On the bright side, Phil has some brain function this morning because he's supposed to be replacing the actor who like, you know, tragically went haywire in the fully functional suit. He's not a complete vegetable. He has some brain function.
The super like, you know, I think they remember like, oh shit, it's a Christmas movie. Oh, we gotta have like a nice little not like a redemption thing, but a nice little moment when, you know, the son gives Byron the action figure. He's like, here, like, you know, take it for your son. I was like, kid, fuck off. I'm like, dude, your dad just went through this whole fucking thing, you know, but okay. I get we're trying to do the nice Christmas moment. And, you know, Byron's like, oh, like, thanks. You know, my son will love this. I'm like, you're going to fucking jail for life. I don't think your son's going to give a fucking shit about it. Like, if anything, that's going to be a horrible, like, reminder of the tragic, you know, Christmas when his dad finally got locked away.
It's a domestic terrorist. He blew up the Minneapolis police department.
Yeah, like, dude, he's got life. Like, 100%, dude. Like,
I mean, even as a kid, I'm like, how's he going to give it to him?
Yeah. But they try to have that little sweet moment. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, okay, like, gonna mail it to him from jail. I don't know. Was he allowed to take it to jail? You know, whatever. But it was just
all you guys do is invite me and just like talk shit about my movies, bro. That's what
that is a damn lie. I love Batman.
That is true. Chuck's got my back. If I know no one's got me, I know Chuck's got me.
That's right.
And then the fact that Byron and Howard Harney, right? They were together basically the whole time. So anytime they receive information, they were both receiving it, except when they got separated and Arnie just like stumbled into the Turbo Man setup, right? And so like, oh, you know, you're part of the parade. And Byron just fucking shows up. He's just like, oh, let me...
Because again, Byron is a domestic terrorist. Byron was going to sabotage the parade and steal toys regardless of whether or not Howard was there or not.
That was his plan C. Like, if this doesn't work, you know.
Exactly.
If you want to shoot some off, check if you got any more.
I mean, no, that was it. My big, like, my hill I'm dying on is like Arnold Schwarzenegger should never do comedy. Unless it's unintentional comedy.
Batman and Robin. That's what I always think of, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, but I would argue that's camp. And he is Mr. Freeze. He's still like firing the frozen guns and like doing
chill. No, I'm telling you, man, that line lives rent free. The cool party.
Come on,
Javi, join us.
Yeah, my 90s gripes.
You didn't say it.
No.
Come on in. The water's icy.
No, I'll save it for that episode.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a 90s family movie until a kid karate kicks someone in the nuts. Goes hiya, cool. You know, I was like, Jesus.
Hey, he's a purple belt, okay?
Yeah.
It's not a 90s family movie until the father character fights an animatronic animal and gives a peace offering. I feel like that happens a lot too. I was like, oh, I've seen this before. And then also, not sure where you guys watched it. Something I found while doing like trivia research in the original film that was like screened in theaters and stuff, and probably on like the VHS copy if you have it. The scene where they call him chain smoking Booster, but yeah, he actually says like, "Oh man, I'm sweating like a dog in a Chinese restaurant."
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was in there. That was definitely in there.
Okay, because I saw in the trivia that they cut it out in some of the streamings or whatever. So I was like, oh, I wonder if they saw it. But I was like, oh, wow. I'm like, in a fucking Christmas movie, like that's wild, but it's also the 90s, so.
Also, I don't want to ruin it if it's part of your trivia, but there is a highly debated misheard line that a child says about Booster.
Okay. No, I don't have it in my trivia, but I feel like I've heard something about that.
Yeah, my roommate always thought this is what was being said, and I was like, there's no way. And we would play it back, and she's like, no, listen, that's what's being said. When they punch Booster, like when he first gets, we don't like Booster. Yeah. One of the kid yells, we don't like you, homophobic slur, is what my roommate and a lot of people on the internet contend that is what's being said. But according to Disney and according to all I didn't do a ton of research because I knew you were doing trivia.
Sure.
But I just wanted to solve this riddle.
No, I didn't see it. It wasn't on the trivia anywhere.
It's we don't like you, bear, is what's said.
Oh, okay.
But the kid says it so muffled and fast that it sounds
Okay.
Like there's an F instead of a B going on.
Wow. Okay.
And so it's like, so yeah, my roommate was like, no, this movie's wild. Like there is just a child, says the F word in this movie for no reason. It's like, no, it's a Disney movie. He does not. And then like, yeah, I was... So to settle that debate, Ashley Howell, if you're still listening, he does not say that. He says bear. Yeah,
I'll stop.
I got nothing.
I'll stop ruining your fucking Christmas, Juan.
I'm sorry, dude. I got nothing. I just see. It's funny because I remember talking to my friend Loretta about it. I'm like, yo, I need to watch this movie. We have till Thursday, and I was being annoying about it because I'm like, yo, you got time to watch on Monday? You got time to watch on Tuesday? You got time to watch on Wednesday? And it was finally Wednesday we got to watch it. I'll bring up the reason why it took so long. So now that I'm like, oh man, we watch it. I'm so excited. And then here's Javier coming up and just like, yo, nah, dude, your movie fucking sucks. Just like,
yeah,
it's fine. You know what? I can't say it's a good movie. I can say it's a movie I like watching though.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to sit down and say this movie is great. Everyone should see it. Actually, that's a lie because that's literally how I got people to see it. But I mean, like Arnold Schwarzenegger reminds me of my dad, dude. Apparently, though, he looks like Mexican Jackie Chan, though. But like, I've been told that a few times. But to me, Arnold Schwarzenegger is just my dad in that movie. So I think that's what means a lot to me. And then Sinbad is just like the neighbor from like down the street because same vibe. Because I know they had beef back in the day.
All right. Well, moving on before Javi tells Juan how much he hates his cinematic father. We've got the rainy day double feature. What'd you guys pair this with?
This was super easy for me. We talked about it. Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah.
Because after watching it, again, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, I'm just like Chuck. I'm a fan of what'd you call them? Buff freak movies.
Yeah, buff. Yeah, I don't know why buff freak family movies.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I remembered this as, and so seeing it, I was like, let me go to the one film where actually Arnold is the film with Arnold is hilarious, and I have seen that one more recently, and I love it. Solid.
Is that for both of y'all?
That was.
Oh no.
Oh, that's just yours.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen Kindergarten Cop. I'm just gonna say that now.
Holy shit!
We need to do Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it. It's
all right, guys. I guess I'm coming back. How about you, Chuck?
I said Rat Race.
Oh!
Because both are about eccentric characters competing against one another to get the prize that they feel that they alone deserve. And like some of my favorite moments of this movie are very much like, oh, it's like, yeah, but Rat Race did it better. Kind of things where I'm like, okay, yeah, like that's like a fun little kind of zany chase shtick and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but like a little better with John Lovitz.
I'm about to throw this complete left curve. You're probably going to shit on this movie too, Javi. I'm looking at you right now. 8 Crazy Nights. The way he just listen.
No. I actually want to do that one on the podcast too.
I would love to do that on the pod too. I think.
Listen, that animation is beautiful. I know it's the same people that did Iron Giant. I think
it looks like it.
It looks like it.
Is, yeah.
The music's amazing for the most part. There's some songs that are just kind of like and it's like it's a shitty film, both literal and metaphorically. I'm thinking like, all right, we saw Christmas, time for some Hanukkah. Lay out your Monica. It's time for some Hanukkah. And that's another movie that I watched a lot as a kid because I'm like, oh my god, it's a cartoon movie, but it has bad words in it.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like so adult right now. Also, just like I said, like just the soundtrack's really good in it. The animation's really good for it, and I just can't help but feel like just sitting down, have some hot chocolate, have some cafe latte, have some just anything like that. Sit back to back double features. Maybe they're bad movies. Okay, so they're bad movies, but you're having a good time. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. I just know I would at least.
And that brings us to this movie's cocktail, sponsored by Charbay Vodka. When I think of Jingle All the Way, 2 words come to mind. Turbo time. We're drinking Turbo time, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems.
Cheers.
So to make a Turbo time, we've got 1.5 ounces of Charbay green tea vodka, 3/4 ounce of lime juice, a spoon of strawberry jam, 1/8 ounce of a Gentian Liqueur, 2 dashes of Rhubarb bitters. Shake all ingredients and serve in a chilled glass. Just be sure to share with the reindeer that you punched out earlier.
Well, it's delicious. Thank you so much.
It was really good.
Also, just absolutely bizarre. Second episode, second green tea vodka drink for Juan. I don't understand how that happened.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, because the other one's like, I love
purple, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love purple.
Yeah, and this was great. I love the green tea taste. It's yeah.
It was
not
delicious. I've never had anything like this.
Yeah. And on that note, we'll take our first ad break.
Deciding on what movie to cover next on the podcast takes thought, but deciding on what vodka to drink? That's a no-brainer. Charbay vodka has a pure, smooth, crisp taste that's perfect for cocktails or straight up on its own. Charbay vodka is a product of Charbay Distillery, 21 and up. Please drink responsibly.
And we're back with everyone's favorite section, Nostalgia Killers Trivia. It's time to find out if our guests know a thing or two and deserve a Turbo Man, or are stuck with Booster.
Thank you, Chuck. All right, I hope you guys are ready.
Okay. I am.
All right. Question number 1. This film had a budget of $60 million, which is...
That's not for debate. That's... Okay.
Yeah, that's not for debate, which is kind of wild for 90s Christmas movie. But anyways, that's what it was. What was Arnold's pay on this film? Take a guess. I'll just give it to whoever's closest.
40 million.
20 million.
Chuck, you got it on the dot. 20 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which I mean, 40 is wild, but even 20 is fucking ridiculous.
Fucking
a third
insane.
of the film's budget was just to pay Arnie.
Jesus.
Oh, man. My boy couldn't even take a comedic, like, improv class or anything.
Ooh, I saw that number. I was like, wow. Even by today's standards, I mean, that's a lot of fucking money, dude.
That's Rush Hour 3 money right there.
Question number 2. What was the original name for the character of Turbo Man? So it was originally going to be called something else. What was it? A, The Incredible Turbine Man. B, Turbo Tom. C, Turby. Or D, The Fast Guy.
B.
Oh, you have to go with B as well, Turbo Tom.
It is B. It is Turbo Tom. Correct. You both
yes.
got it. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I was hoping it was Turbine Man, like...
Yeah. No, there was like no reasoning for it. It was just like that was, and they were like, Turbo Man sounds better. Question number 3. Which actor was not considered for the role of Myron? A, Martin Lawrence. B, Tim Allen. C, Joe Pesci. Or D, Phil Hartman.
I'm gonna go B, Tim Allen.
I'm going to go Martin Lawrence.
Juan, you got it. It was Martin Lawrence. Yeah, I just love it because it kind of made sense, you know. But yeah, the Tim Allen thing was weird. I was like, no. But yeah, he was actually Tim Allen was strongly considered.
Oh,
weird.
Like,
I mean, Home
top,
Improvement was a beast at the time, so like I get it, but like also no, like
yeah, like a weird antagony kind of.
Yeah, I can't see him as a villain.
Yeah,
I mean, I can see him as a villain, but I can't see him as like. I can't see him as like a likable villain, basically.
Okay. Yeah,
like, because Sinbad at least has like that quality about him where it's like, you're like, okay, like at the end of the day, he's Sinbad, he's a dad trying hard. But like, I feel like if Tim Allen pulls out the claws, then it's like, yeah, I can't unsee it.
Yeah. And the Phil Hartman thing was funny, yeah, because that was the original role he was trying to get.
Oh.
And yeah, and they were like, actually, would you read for Ted? And then they were like, that works way better, which I'm glad they did. Question number 4. Which actor was not considered for the role of Howard? A, Sylvester Stallone. B, Bill Murray. C, Steve Martin. Or D, Robin Williams.
Steve Martin, I mean.
I'm gonna go Sly Stallone because I feel like they were gonna go like with a traditional comedic actor and then they had the Arnie idea.
Chuck, that is correct.
Yay! I was gonna, and also like not to break your heart, Juan, but like I want to see Jingle All the Way with B, C, and D.
Yeah, oh yeah. It would be. I feel like it would be so much better. Yeah, there was no other buff freaks considered for for Howard. Just
buff family freaks.
Yeah. Question number 5. True or false? It was ruled by a court that this film idea was stolen from a middle school biology teacher, and the studio had to pay $19 million as settlement.
True. False.
It is true. It is true, but it was later reversed after more evidence was found arguing against. But it was like one of those where like, I think it actually still was probably plagiarized, but the guy didn't have enough to fight it. But
well, and also like Juan was saying, it's like so many of us just lived it with like Tickle Me Elmo and all of that kind of stuff. And like the, you know, Furby craze and Pokemon cards and all that kind of stuff that it was like, oh, okay.
Question number 6. 20th Century Fox offered Arnold Schwarzenegger the project after development on a remake of what 1968 film, which had been a longtime pet project for the actor, fell apart? Was it A, Night of the Living Dead, B, The Odd Couple, C, Planet of the Apes, or D, Bullet?
I want to see all of these.
I'd say B.
Juan took B, so just to make things interesting, I'm going to say C.
Well, good thing you made things interesting, because it is C. It is Planet of the Apes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So in some weird alternate reality, universe, we could have had get your damn hands off me, you damn dirty ape.
Well, that makes so much goddamn sense because Charlton Heston's like a Republican NRA guy, and like so is Arnie. So it's like maybe it's like, oh yeah, Heston was onto something kind of thing. Okay.
Question number 7: True or false? The Johnny Oma 7 gun toy that Myron describes in the movie is a real toy.
True.
It is true. It was actually the best-selling quote-unquote boys toy of 1964. And the commercial was just as Myron described it. Yeah. And it is now a rare collector's item. Super rare, yeah. Question number 8. True or false? Both lead characters improvised the majority of their lines.
I'm going to say false.
I'm going to say true.
It is true.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I didn't want to ruin earlier when you were saying, Sinbad's like not bouncing up. Well, that was Arnie. That was Arnie improvising.
That was Arnie trying his damnedest.
Yeah.
Poor Sinbad, dude.
But I mean, which actually I guess does make sense because he couldn't come up with anything witty to...
Yeah, because it's like, well, this was your idea.
That cookie down.
Final question. True or false? This film was made in order to sell an actual Turbo Man action figure.
False.
I'm going to say true, and it just didn't work.
It is false, right? But due to they actually had a big marketing push to sell the accompanying action figure, so much that it was actually a widely believed rumor, critics believed that was actually what had happened. Oh, this must be a toy that they're trying to sell. And they were like, no, we made it because of the film. And they were like, no.
Juan wins by a point.
By 1 point.
Ooh.
1 point.
Juan, you are the real Turbo Man.
It's turbo time. That was such an awful impression. Literally.
Awesome. Thanks, Javi.
Absolutely.
Those are some great questions.
Speaking of great, it is now time to thank our great executive producer, Javier Martinez.
Woo-woo.
Addy, we would fight the horde, get trampled, stampeded, absolutely, punch out any four-legged critter for you because you deserve it. And if you would like us to defend your honor, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/nostalgiakillerspodcast. For $15 a month, we will shout you out every single episode, much like our benevolent Javier Martinez. And with that, we'll take our second ad break.
Is there anything better than rewatching your favorite movie? How about rewatching it with a cocktail made from Charbay spirits? Since 1983, Charbay has been making award-winning spirits as unique and dependable as your favorite movie. Charbay Distillery, Ukiah, California, 21 and older. Please drink responsibly.
And we're back with Act 3, the award categories, where we start things off the way we always do, with my new band name. What memorable quote, reference, yada yada would make a cool, edgy band name, song title, album?
So my artist is Horny House Dad.
Hell yeah.
Which is funny because, we don't really get the, it's usually the horny housewife trope, right? So it was interesting to see in this film, Horny House Dad, with their latest album, Bench Press Your Way Out of This One, and their number 1 single off the album, Sleazy Con Men, parentheses, in red suits.
Fuck.
Pretty good.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
I don't know if I can beat that one. I guess if I'm next,
go for it.
I just had a single. It was supposed to be just like that, put that cookie down. It was like a hard rock and roll song, man. Like put that cookie down. No, you got like some Euro rock.
Yeah, I had my band is Johnny 7 Omega. They're a surf rock band with their hit song "Just an Opportunity" in parentheses to let me down.
Nice.
And off their smash debut album, "Purple Was Important." Which was like such a, like, that's, I don't know. And then maybe again, like, much like Lauren on the Gremlins episode, family traumas kind of reiterated back to you through cinema. I'm just like, yeah, like that motherfucker wouldn't have been there for my purple belt. Like, tell him, Jake Lloyd.
Yeah.
There's so much purple in that movie.
Yeah. And that brings us to the Roger Deakins Would Be Proud Award for cinematography.
We just talked about it in the last episode, so it was funny that it popped up here again, but the Morticia lighting.
Yeah.
When the wife turns off the to go to sleep, and she's like, oh, you got the toy, right? Or whatever she says, and get the stream of light on Arnie's eyes as he's like,
you son of a bitch, you stole mine.
Was it? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I had to think about it. I was like, dude, there isn't anything in this movie. And I was like, actually, the Morticia lighting.
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's really good.
Yeah, there's also, this was mine, Liz ducks. Liz is the wife, the mother character. But Liz ducks to wash her face, and we get a quick rack focus to Howard as he realizes he forgot to buy Jamie's Christmas present. She's like, oh yeah, you got the turbo thing, right? And then she ducks to like wash her face, and we just get like a...
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. I got it weeks ago.
Is that Channing Tatum in a dog collar? Nah, it's not. But it is an award for an actor in an unexpected cameo. I mean, I feel like we could just laundry list this one, but I don't want to steal it, but we already said it. Paul the Big Show White as the Uber Santa.
Wild. Yeah.
So good.
I smiled so hard. I was like, wow. Yeah, I already said it too, but Vern Troyer was Mini Santa.
Danny Woodburn as one of the elves.
Yeah.
Famous little person actor who's in like Seinfeld and a bunch of other fun stuff like that.
I had Chris Parnell and Patrick Richwood as the two store employees.
Martin Mull as the DJ.
With
his creepy long ponytail.
Yeah. I'll buy that for $1. For me, I got just before you guys steal it from me. Sorry. Jim Belushi.
Yeah, that was
Santa.
Yeah, it actually took me a second. I was watching this time around. I was like, "Who is this guy? This is so familiar." And then, like, once he took the beer, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, and then of course Jake Lloyd as the son.
Yeah,
you don't realize till like way after the fact. Like, holy crap, that's Anakin Skywalker. Poor kid. He got a really bad gig in like both Phantom Menace and that.
Oh, no wonder he turned to a life of crime. JK, free my boy Anakin. Hopefully. I'll look up I forgot to look up his beat sheet while I was on break.
Yeah, I think it was drug stuff probably.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then free my boy Anakin. But if it's domestic violence or any kind of SA stuff, then he can stay in jail. Anyways, we have the Hans Gruber Deathfall Award.
The Fall of Anakin Skywalker. No, I'm just kidding. Not really a death, but just, I guess, because I didn't really like the character so much. Myron getting arrested.
Damn.
I mean, it was the end of the movie, but I was like, yeah, dude, fucking get out of here. Go to jail. Go rot in jail, man.
Not necessarily a death, but yeah, I'd have to agree with you too. I mean, that's really the only thing we got. Unless, we go with no one likes you, Booster, and they just like Shoryukens him into the floor.
A-cab. I had.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna say the bomb scene.
I had Myron blowing up the Minneapolis Police Department.
Huge disclaimer.
The views of Chuck Starzenski do not represent the views of our lovely sponsors or their products and services offered during our ad breaks.
I wanted to say that too, but I wanted to avoid the whole...
Oh no, it's okay. The best part about podcasting is I can always edit things out. Usually don't, but you can.
I was going to say, when I was listening to the Batman one, I was like, oh, they'll edit that out. They did not edit that out.
Yeah.
They're not, right now, they're not going to edit this out.
Why I like Waterworld, a controversial hot take. You guys got any hot takes that we haven't already covered?
Nope.
I don't think so. I think I just like it because it's Christmas. I'm a Christmas guy.
A little Christmas boy.
I'm a little Christmas boy. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I grew up watching his one movie. I'm gonna be real. I've never seen. Oh my god, fans are gonna hate me. Never seen Predator. Only seen Terminator.
You guys can't see it because it's an audio podcast, but I'm glaring at one across the table.
I've seen Terminator 2, Batman and Robin. So I know him as like a comedic actor, a bad comedic actor, but a comedic actor. So that's why I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm okay with his little stuff in this movie. But now after watching it as an adult, I'm like, holy shit, he's bad. like I love him to death, but Good Lord.
Yeah, I said for my hot take, Arnold and Phil Hartman should have swapped roles.
Oh.
Have Phil comedically carry the movie, and then let Arnold have more of his like kind of cameo segments as a massive bodybuilder, DILF neighbor that's scamming on all the local moms, basically.
Yeah.
Because then it's like he doesn't have to be like father of the year scumbag, like trying to creep in that way. He just is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Like he's like, oh, Howard, you looking for a toy for your son? That's so funny. And he's just like, shirtless, like shirtless in detailing his car in the snow, like that kind of stuff. And like all the moms are like, oh, like it's the holiday season. I baked you some sugar cookies. And like, yeah.
Did you come move all this firewood from my backyard? Yeah, I go,
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's playing the neighborhood Santa, and he's just, exactly. Just like oiled up with like...
Oh, actually, I really want to watch that now. Yeah, that sounds great.
You want to watch it as an oiled up Santa?
Sure, let's go with that, yeah.
Blue Velvet meets Blue's Clues. What film would you mash this movie up with to make a total train wreck?
I have Jingle All the Way meets Liar Liar.
Oh.
That's a pretty good one.
So a terrible father falls under a shooting star / Christmas wish curse unknowingly placed by his son, where any gift the son asks for, he becomes bound to fulfill no matter what.
Oh. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that sets up a lot more like scenarios where like, again, like no, he has to get the gift. Like that's the thing. He has to. It doesn't matter if they're sold out. Well, he's got to get it. It gives him more of like a, well, I don't have a choice except to go on these, I'm not being irrational because I'm just like, going through all this stuff to get this toy just because my kid wants it. It's like, oh, I have to get it, and then, you can just say where like the kid changes actually, you know what? I don't want the booster. I actually want the booster toy instead or whatever, and it's like, now I got to go get the booster toy.
I said Jingle All the Way meets Last Action Hero. So on their quest for the doll, Howard and Myron accidentally get pulled into the fictitious world of the Turbo Man TV show and then have to fight meta, it becomes very meta and they have to fight versions of themselves essentially.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That sounds like it'll be a fun time.
I like that.
I don't know. Jingle All the Way in Star Wars. Let's just go.
There we go.
There we go. Let's just go with that. He's going across the galaxy looking for this toy for his son. He truly is Turbo Man.
Oh, I like that intergalactic hunt for a Christmas toy. Yeah.
Here comes Kanye. Juan, you are a very talented voice actor with a very successful channel. Would you like to plug it?
So this time I'm actually not plugging my voice acting channel, but I'm actually plugging my friend's Kofi, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, who I watched it with, who had to suffer this film with me. So her name is Adele, but she goes by Lady Laurette online. So she just started up her Ko-fi. She's been getting a bunch of commissions. I'm about to give you a bunch more. Sorry, you're probably gonna hate me because I know you really want to break. But if you want to check out her art, it's beautiful. It's Ko-fi. It's ko-fi.com/LADYL0R3TT. So Lady Laurette. And you'll be able to check out her stuff. And she's got some really good art I can actually show you guys. Well, obviously you can't see it since it's on a podcast, but just for a good example, she just did this for me earlier today.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So she's great on shading. She's great on flat start. You can literally just say yo, whatever you want. This is literally just yo, do whatever you want. I just need a new image for my Twitch. She's okay, cool, I got that for you. So
Oh, right on. That's cool.
Yeah. Just something to keep in mind.
Nice. If you would like some holiday artwork commissioned. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Definitely check out Lady Laurette. She also has an Instagram as well.
Well, I think I'm just going to take this moment to say, I don't want much for Christmas, except for you to follow us on Patreon and subscribe to us on all the streaming platforms, leave a comment, do all that. Just get more eyeballs on the show because we put a lot of hard work and energy into it. And would love the world to listen to, us bitch about movies.
I just heard that another local movie theater has successfully been saved from being put out of commission. I don't know if you guys heard about that. We got an update on one of our local movie theaters that was going to be replaced with an unnamed gym. That was a terrible fucking idea. But I was there the other day recently, and the employees informed me, we're saved. We're going to keep running the show. So
that's incredible.
Yeah. So please go out and support your local cinemas and, any cinema really, but especially, not big names, but
I was so bummed out by the Rhubarb Park one.
Yeah. Yeah. Say streaming is great. You know, it's got its use, but definitely go watch stuff. Get your butts in seats, please.
Yeah, it doesn't beat like sitting down at the theater. Just get that theater.
Get that immersive experience. Yeah,
exactly. You know, you ain't watching a movie. You ain't got crying children or a guy yelling in the back. You're like, yeah, that movie's gonna be good.
Well, yeah, that brings us to, do we call Jules and Vincent good or bad? Worth a rewatch.
Juan, I unfortunately will not be jingling all the way. I'm killing this movie. I'll be honest, I don't think I'm ever watching this again. At least not on my own accord. Water's empty, so you can't throw any water at me, Juan, but...
he can throw his tears that he's been saving.
I think I'll let it live myself. I honestly, you know, as much of the flaws as it's very near and dear to my heart. Just because as a child, I would watch it all the time. There's a lot of memorable scenes for me, and I always end up watching it with the people that I just like, you know, just care about. You know, not family, friends, everyone. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's a bad movie, but it's a movie that, you know, I enjoy to hate. It also has a really sick, like, fucking rock and roll version of the Turbo Man theme during the parade scene. I'm like, wait for it. Oh, there it is. I'm like, I thought it was a lot longer, and it was only like 3 seconds, and the people were just like, that's it.
At the end of the day, I had fun. But it's the same camp that I'm in with Waterworld, with Boondock Saints, with a few of these we've done where I'm like, I don't think I need to see this again.
Yeah.
So I am going to, just for that fact, I'm going to kill it. But I am going to put out a huge caveat. Much like Boondock Saints, Waterworld, just YouTube them scenes, baby. Like, just, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Look up the GIF of Arnold Schwarzenegger punching a reindeer in the face. And, you know, combine that with the trailer and the Santa Brawl. And then, yeah, you've kind of saved yourself 89 extra minutes.
It is a pretty decently long film for what it is, honestly, because there's so, you know, like, going back, oh my god, am I about to change my opinion here right now? No, because there's like so many parts of it where it's just like the pacing feels so weird.
Oh yeah.
After the whole Santa Claus portion, you're near the end, but no, because then it's the whole radio station thing, and then there's still like 20 minutes of the movie left, and I'm just like, oh, I remember this movie way wrong. I'm still saying, let it live. Don't worry, Arnie. I got you, baby. Don't worry. But
that brings us to the Sonic Death Monkey Top 5, brought to you by Goose and Fern Pub in beautiful Santa Rosa, California. Thanks again. And for this week's Top 5, we have, what are your top 5 movie leads that maybe don't deserve redemption?
For my number 5, and I have them at number 5 just because, you know, I don't think they're, you know, it's not trying to redeem him or anything, but the film definitely ends, you know, regardless of what you think, as soon as the credits go, it definitely ends with that, oh, well, look at him. He's such a good at this, you know, he's such a good at this thing. So I have Jordan Belfort in Wolf of Wall Street. Again, I don't think the film does not try to redeem him per se, but it definitely ends on that note of like, yeah, this guy's such a whiz at selling stuff, which is like fine, but fucking horrible human being, you know?
I struggled not to make this entire list just Scorsese characters.
Yeah.
My number 5 is going to be a little bit more obscure, and then I'm going to bring it back in, I promise. I've got Holden from Chasing Amy. Haven't done a Kevin Smith movie on this podcast yet and would love to, but yeah. So yeah, he's just, he's an insecure idiot that wrote a comic book, like, and then we're supposed to be like, oh, he made this work of art about his complete misunderstanding of what it is to be bisexual or like have sexual freedom at all. And so like, he deserves a slap on the wrist. Like, no, he doesn't. He's like a fucking, yeah. He's like a mildly homophobic pig, basically, the entire movie, and then just like gets, and actually I take back mildly, he's pretty homophobic in the movie. Yeah. But yeah, Chasing Amy, probably aged like milk. Haven't seen it since I was a teenager.
Wow. So I don't really have them in an order.
That's okay. They don't have to be like an extreme, you know.
So one of my first ones was probably Biff from Back to the Future. The original one. Because I'm just like, this man is just horrible in like every sense of the word. The man's a rapist. Like through and through. Like, you know, this ain't no peep show. You know what I mean? Just like that whole scene is just so uncomfortable to watch. It's more uncomfortable to watch than her kissing her son. That tells you something, you know. But like, I just think he's just, you know, the whole which is crazy because the actor himself is like, I've heard is a really nice guy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So he played his role really well. But like in that whole trilogy, Biff just fucking sucks, man. He's just such an asshole to everyone around him. And then, and then in like Back to the Future 2, because, they're all one story. So I might just drag on a little bit with this one. So it's just like, he becomes like Donald Trump basically in the 80s and just it's just even worse, just kills Marty's dad.
Number 4, I have Kylo Ren, Star Wars, the newer trilogy. Just on top of the fact that I fucking did not like those movies. The whole, classic, like, oh, well, he was a tortured young soul and misunderstood and he was forced into this position. And it's like, yeah, dude, he still murdered, like, I don't know how many fucking thousands of people across the galaxy. Like, and, now, oh, he's, we have him fallen in love with Rey and, they get their little kiss. And I'm like, oh, and he dies heroically. I'm like, no, this guy's a fucking monster. Don't redeem him. He killed his father. Like,
my number 4. I have Billy Madison from the film Billy Madison. Oh, he's a spoiled, rich, just like moron who deserves to own an entire like multi-billion-dollar hotel chain because he went to school for a month. Like, I don't know, go back, listen to the episode we did on it. That movie's batshit. And it's just a strange character for us to kind of be like, no, Billy's a great guy.
Throwing this one out there, it's going to be a little crazy. Telly from Kids.
What are you talking about? Justice for Telly again?
No, absolutely.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
No, absolutely fucking not. We got this kid who's HIV positive, trying to get as many kids, like, screwing them, just all underage. Like, he's like, yo, let me just spread it. Let me just spread the HIV. I know this is like the second, I don't know what my obsession with this movie is, because it's like the second time I've mentioned it here since I've been here. But I'm just like, who's like,
you did,
yeah. Who's like, thank you, Javier. I'm like, who's a lead character that's just horrible? And I can't think of anyone else but Telly.
No.
Which, I mean, all that director's movies whose names, I can't remember the name of the director. Larry Clark. Like, just ridiculous stuff. But that movie is just awful to watch because it's just like, it's literally this kid is just like, yo, let me just like have sex with like all these like girls, give them HIV and just not tell them. Let me have a fun time here. He should be my number 1, but I have a very specific reason for my number 1.
For my number 3, I have Tony Stark, aka Iron Man.
Sam, I'm so sorry.
Dude, he's a fucking weapons designer, bro. Like, like weapons of like mass destruction or whatever, still selling them under the premise of like, well, we're using them to be safe. And, that kind of continues to be his theme throughout the Avengers movies, right? The whole reason for building Ultron, like, well, I'm trying to protect the world. And I was always Team Captain America. I'll just be real. So fucking Civil War, Tony going, well, we got to be in check. And I'm like, yeah, by fucking who? The corrupt government that like, come on, man. And he's just a fucking asshole, likable, sure, at times, but weapons designing billionaire, multi-billionaire who just is,
you're not Team Tony Blackwater, Team Tony Raytheon. You're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I love Marvel, but that was just one thing I could never really get behind, to be honest. So
my number 3 is also a beloved character. I've got Henry Hill from Goodfellas. Because, he's, though, like, pretty much the worst one aside from Joe Pesci. Like, in the sense that, like, yeah, he is, not only is he stealing, killing, doing all the terrible things that all the mobsters are doing, but he's also cheating on his wife and, like, selling drugs behind the mob boss's back, who is, like, lifted him up from his bootstraps since day one and looked out for him since he was a little kid. All to just kind of, when he gets finally pinched at the end, he turns over on everyone he ever grew up with, which is like, that's like the, and obviously those people are all, deserve to potentially go to jail and all that kind of stuff. But it's like, yeah, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. It's like, dude, you're just as bad, if not worse. So like, why? Yeah.
So my number 3 is a throwback to the last time I was here, is the Joker from the original Batman. Because as funny as he is, that man just fucking murders so many people. Even before he becomes Joker, even as Jack Napier, he's like sleeping with his boss's, like, lover, girlfriend or whatever. He's just an asshole to everyone around him. He's ready to sacrifice anyone. He's in like this dirty dealing with the cops. And after he becomes the Joker, he goes in and he just starts killing people, has actually no remorse, which is like, just as the Joker should be. But like, just absolutely, I mean, I know a lot of people probably go with more for the Heath Ledger version, but just to kind of give the throwback, I want to give Nicholson, a little bit of love on this show. So I think that would be my number 3.
My number 2, John Wick.
Oh.
You know, we go, oh, so sad. His wife died. Oh, his dog died. You know, but like, oh, yeah, kill all those people. It's like, dude, like, I mean, yeah, but didn't he also just kill people for a living? How good of a guy could he really be? You know, he's our lead, but I mean, he's fucking John Wick. So he's killed at this point, even before the movie starts, he's killed thousands and thousands of people.
The greatest assassin in the entire world, basically.
Yeah, for money, you know, and, you know, as we see throughout the films, you know, they don't really have kill women and, you know, doesn't matter. Yeah, John Wick, man. I love John Wick, but should I really?
My number 2 is Scott Pilgrim from Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Oh my God.
I can't think of that. That's a great one.
I know. I was like, how did I not think of that?
He's a man in his 20s dating a high schooler. Cheating on said high schooler with a girl that he's like kind of built up in his head and is just like a creepy male manipulator through and through. And like, I understand like if you read the comic there, it's a little bit more clearly put out there and blunt that like, oh, Scott is not a good guy. But the movie doesn't do a great job of that. Like the movie, like you kind of like, oh yeah, he's a little off. He's a little like nerdy and da da da. It's like, no, he's a predator.
The comic is disgusting at times. Like once, what's her name? Kim? No, not Kim. Knives.
Yeah.
When she turns 18, he finds out she's 18. He's like, you want to have sex right now? He's just like, bro, are you kidding me? He's like, you haven't seen her in like, what, 3 years?
Just groom until the day he dies, yeah.
For my number 2, we're on number 2, I believe, right? I would have to say Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. I knew I was getting some laughs on that, but have you seen that movie?
He's a monster.
Yeah, tell me what he's done. That man made me not want to go to church for a while. I kid you not. I watched that movie when I was like 10. I was like, what? And I'm like, Dad, I'm not going.
Hunchback made me question my faith.
It really did. It really did. I'm like, I ain't even Christian. I'm Catholic. But I ain't going, bro. And I watched it recently too, and I'm like, this guy's a freaking monster. Not just that. I remember being a kid like, ooh, he's at hell.
Number 1, I got another Star Wars one, but it's the one, man. Darth Vader. You know, final episode or you know, the original trilogy, we get his little moment. He saves his son, defeats Palpatine. You know, I'm like, oh, Dad, you did the right thing again. But worse than Kylo Ren, after slaughtering like fucking millions and oppressing the entire fucking galaxy, in the name of love is not a good fucking answer, you know, or in search of power to save your loved ones, whatever. Sorry, baby Jake Lloyd, but yeah, you grew up to be a fucking horrible
character.
Yeah, so Darth Vader, man, I think that's the epitome of like, you know, they try to give him that little thing in there, sweet moment with Luke, but no. No.
My number 1 was Jordan Belfort from Wolf of Wall Street, but because Javi already said it, I'm going to pivot and make it more interesting. My number 1 is Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver.
Yeah, there you go.
Another Scorsese flick. And I think Travis is a much more important one to touch on because much like, you know, Todd Phillips' Joker, like just a misunderstood character in the sense of like gets put on this like kind of punk rock like anti-establishment pedestal, and it's like, no dude, he's you're not supposed to root for him at all. No, he is a creepy weirdo who like, brings first dates to porno theaters and tries to, you know, mass murder, you know, people for his own views and whatnot. And just like, and then in the original draft of the script, he's a severe racist too. So it's like, it's just, not a lovable guy, Travis. So like, maybe don't make him, you know, your punk rock icon.
For me, my number 1 is Terrence Fletcher from Whiplash.
Oh.
Yes. Yes. Because especially that scene where he goes like, not my tempo to poor Miles Teller, I believe who the actor is. And like, not just that, he has a kid commit suicide in that film because of how horrible he is. But here's my thing, and I'm about to go on a rant here, and I know I just shilled out Lady Lorette for this. She whiplashed me not even 2 weeks ago because we had to do an ad for Streamily, and I had to do a character that she loved. I was recording for 3 hours with her in a Discord call for and we had 8 minutes of like, what do you want to call it? Like footage, recording footage for a 2-minute video. And she's like, and much love to you, to like Lorette, you know this, much love to you. But like, she would quote it she would say like, not my tempo, but that's okay. We'll work on it. She's like, not my tempo. She would say, you're rushing. You're rushing. And I'm getting like PTSD. I'm like, wait a minute. Where have I heard this before? She's like, you're rushing. Now you're lagging. Now you're rushing. Now you're lagging. And I'm just like, and I know I'm like kind of losing the plot here because of that. And like, it got to the point where I was showing Javi the screenshots of a Discord chat we were in. And she's like, oh, what's the matter, Juan? Are you upset? And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. She's like, say it louder. And I'm like, I'm upset. She's like, say it louder for the whole group. And I'm like, I'm upset. And she's like, louder. I'm like, hell, you want for me, caps lock? I'm like, I'm upset. And everyone in the chat's like, what the hell just happened between these two? and then they would start, we all watch. Then I watch Whiplash. They're like, oh, dude, she whiplashed you. So yeah, Terrence Fletcher's my number one just because I lived through it. Like I said, much love, Laurent. You know that, but you know, I had to have that be my number one. And she's gonna hate me after this.
Well, thanks for listening and hating Juan. If you're still listening, I have been Chuck Starzenski.
I have been Javier Martinez.
I have been Juan Martinez, no relation.
And we have been the Nostalgia Killers.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Not my tempo. Again.
Bang, bang.
Again.
Bang, bang.
Now you're rushing it.
Bang, bang.
Perfect.